What up, my YouTube family? Welcome to my channel. YouTube can be great. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. YouTube can be _GR8_ channel. I did post the winner of this next giveaway, and I posted what the next giveaway is going to be, when the subscribers numbers is going to be, so just make sure you check it out. If it is you, just go ahead and hit me up and we'll coordinate how to get the gift card to you so you can go shopping on Amazon. Okay, so this particular review is going to be on season 1, episode 2, Tyler Perry's The Oval, titled Unforgettable. Okay, I watched it because it was good, it was entertaining, so I'm going to review it. The scene obviously opens up starting with the Nancy running around looking for Ruth, because Ruth took Callie in the first episode, so they still haven't found her. She ends up trying to call the police. She's driving around. She called Richard, her husband. I don't know if he's her husband yet. I'm thinking so, because that's Richard is also Barry, her son's father. They haven't clarified if they're together or divorced, but it looks that way so far. She calls him trying to say, hey, call me back. I lost the kid. She calls Sharon, Barry's current girlfriend, to come and help her, and they kind of coordinate that. The next scene we have is Gail. Before we get there, Ruth, when she was taking the kids, she said that she's taking the Callie to some place called Paradise Town, like Jonestown. She's taking her to Paradise Town with all these cult members and all these kids that are apparently being taken captive. And as she's doing it, she's singing "Bring All the Children to Me." I swear, this person is crazy, and I can't wait to meet this crazy person that's the prophet for Paradise Town. But scene 2, Gail says Barry raped her still, and they don't believe her, obviously, but they have to follow protocol. So Barry's been taken to this room to wait for investigation. Richard, his dad, the butler, is running around trying to figure out what's going to happen to his son, and Barry's on the verge of tears, like, I didn't do it, and the girl's like, I'm the president's daughter, trying to pull that crap card. She's blaming her for something he didn't do when he's trying to get out of it. Scene 3, they show Lilly and Bobby still fucking in the bathroom, except while they're doing it, her husband calls. The chief of staff, Donald is what his name is. He calls trying to figure out what's going on with her flights, and he also wants to apologize because he's been such a jackass to her. He's been hanging up on her. Whenever he's called her, she's telling him that, the storm's going on. He's been treating her like crap, which has her with another man in between her legs. And now that he calls her, she stops him during the moment of passion. I don't know how she had the effort to do it. I would not do it. I would let Elise finish, but she stopped him to pick up the phone. And he's apologizing. He's telling her how much he loves her. He's telling her he misses her. He's telling her he took pictures of the first lady wearing her dress. And it's going to be all over the place, all over the news, getting her word out there. And she's feeling kind of bad. And she's crying. Meanwhile, the guy that she's been screwing, Bobby, is sitting up there looking at her like, oh, why do you feel bad about this? When she gets off the phone with him, she's done with this little tryst. And she's ready to leave. And we see a whole other side of this guy. Bobby is another crazy dude, because she's getting mad and she's getting frustrated. She's feeling bad. And she's like, why don't you do this all the time? He's like, no. She's like, why don't you go home to your wife? He's like, what wife? Like, she's like, the ring on your finger. He's like, oh. And she's like, get out. And he's like, I don't like your attitude. The way you're talking to me, I don't like it. But I'm going to keep trying to pursue you. And he's going through her stuff. Like she's yelling at him. He's acting like everything's all cool. Like her husband didn't just call. And she's like, you need to stay away from me. He's basically threatening her, like, we'll see what happens. It was like, we're like, oh, he's going to stalk her now. But he ends up like giving us the impression that he's going to be with this girl whether she likes her or not. It's almost like no means yes and yes means yes. So I'm going to get what I want regardless of how you feel type situation. And she's thinking to herself, damn, what the hell did I just do? The next thing we have, the inauguration dance is still going on, but we don't see the president. Instead, we see the president's son, who's out here trying to, cop a feel during people dancing. He's getting caught trying to grab somebody's ass, and Secret Service grabbed him, pulled him over before he did something crazy. And then the First Lady, Victoria, and Hunter are on their way back to headed to the White House. They come in, and the chief of staff, Donald, Barry, is being informed that Barry has been accused of rape. So now he has to go and kind of do the whole investigation and rectify it. You got Richard telling him, my son didn't do this. You got some of the other workers and the staff in the building telling him, we know this kid, he didn't do it. But he's trying to follow protocol, so he goes to see him. The next thing we have, Nancy still driving looking for Ruth. Sharon's trying to help her. That scene is being prolonged. Scene 6, we have Barry being questioned. They ask for a rape kit because he discloses to Donald, the chief of staff, that she had gone on her knees trying to give him head. So they want to get a rape kit to see if there's anything that transpired between both of them, and they tell him to sit there and wait. Scene 8, you got scene 7, you got Lilly and Bobby are back on the plane. He's teasing her, talking about, you want to go around 2 bathrooms right here. You want to go, let's be in the Baja Club, right? Let's just go back here and hit it one more time. And he's all calm about it and collected and just acting like nothing happened. And she's scared and she's pissed off and she's agitated and she's trying to switch seats. And they're telling her that ain't nobody here going to switch seats with you. She's like, well, find out if somebody wants to stay in first class, trying to get away from him. And he's passing her a note that says, meet me in the bathroom. And she's trying to rip it up because she's embarrassed. And he's just like, whatever. And then scene 8, we have the president in front of his wife is talking to his hoe, but he's calling her by a man's name in front of her. He's done talking to her. He then goes into the bathroom and leaves his phone on the bed. Victoria did what I would do, pick up the phone and call, read out the number. And of course, it's the girl, the hoe. And she discloses to the hoe that she met her, the same type of woman, before she got married. She met her when she was pregnant with her first child. She met her when she was pregnant with her son. She met somebody like her in the governor's office to let us know that the entirety of their marriage, Hunter, the president, has been fucking around on her since she married him. And we find out later that she deliberately chose this man because she felt like he was a doormat. She, being this intelligent, well-educated woman, knew that she could get him into places that he cannot get on his own, and she put him there. And here he is calling her a bitch, calling her all sorts of names, and she's just like, you know what? I can take whatever name you call me, but let's just be clear. I'm the one that put you in this scene, and if I could be president, I would be president, but the time is not ready. He goes up to her and pulls up maybe like a social media or something, and says that people call her ugly. People say that she's not the type of, she's just angry black woman, and that nobody would want to pick her as a president. And her feelings genuinely hurt. But it's like they both like to pick at each other and instigate things. She done flushed his phone down the toilet, talking about you don't need to have a smartphone. He picked it back up, saying it was water resistant, and kept going. Then the chief of staff, Donald, comes in and tells them that his daughter accused Barry of rape. Now, the president seems like he believes his daughter. Victoria, however, said, screw this, I need to talk to her, I'm gonna go do it myself. She's refusing to take a rape kit. So she goes in there, she goes in there with a bucket of water. And she goes in there, I'm thinking, what the hell is she gonna do with the water? She goes in there and she pours that water. Her daughter, while she's on the bed, Gail, talking about get up and tell the truth, because she know damn well her daughter's lying. And of course, she threatens her by saying that we're gonna have 3 big ass men come in here, hold your legs open, we're gonna do this rape kit, or else you're gonna tell the truth. So she finally admits that she came in drunk and that Barry did not rape her. And after she admits that, then the mom leaves and tells the chief of staff that he needs to stop the investigation. And the chief of staff is like, but this is a very serious allegation. And she's like, listen, my daughter lies. Whatever she tells you, don't believe her. And don't question me again. And she leaves. Then we got scene 9. They tell Richard to make sure, Donald already now sees that Barry's innocent. But what he does is he goes to Barry and says, Barry better not mention this to anybody because they have to keep this a secret, that the first lady's daughter is out here accusing people of rape falsely. And then he goes and tells Richard, the butler, that he's to make sure his son doesn't snitch, doesn't say nothing, because it will be bad for the president. I'm thinking to myself, fuck her. Tell everybody that she's a little lying hoe that want to blame somebody for rape when he didn't do it. But of course, they have to maintain the president's image. It's a whole nother drama. You got all these little workers, the maids and the butlers and the house help, seeing all this little things going on, but it's like we see it, but we can't talk about it. And on the outside, it looks great, but on the inside, this place is just full of shit. So Richard is now talking to his son, telling him that he cannot basically go and tell people about it. Barry's in tears, like, I just got accused of rape and I didn't even do it. And the dad is telling him to let this situation go. That's the best possible outcome. And he's feeling like I'm feeling. What the fuck you mean by let it go? Like, nobody's gonna accuse me of rape and I'm not gonna say nothing. What you mean by let it go? So I'm feeling the same way he's feeling, but I understand it. And then scene 10, we got Nancy and Sharon are looking for Callie still. They call the police. The police comes to the house and Sharon tells them that the mother is with, the cult's name is called Rakadushi. I don't know where the hell they came up with that name, but the cult's name is called Rakadushi. The police make a statement saying, look at each other like they are aware of the cult's existence already, and that all these people that have been stealing kids and taking them into that cult and try to raise them there. However, a lot of the kids that they've taken are taken legally. Even though they're telling them this kid wasn't taken legally, they keep going. And, you know, and they keep going. So they basically say, you know what, this has happened. She only be gone for 2 hours, and 2 hours is not long enough for us basically to do like a missing child report, but they're gonna have to wait till they go to court. That's like the image you're trying to give. They have to wait to go to court. The mom, the grandma says, you know what, if we wait for it to court, she will already be gone. We don't know where she is. And the police basically say, we can't help you. Then we got scene 11. Barry comes home, and Sharon and Nancy let him know that Ruth came to the house and that they allowed her to come see Callie, and she took Callie. Barry did what a lot of people in relationships do, which pisses me off, is they instantly blame the girlfriend or the boyfriend. You did this. He started going off on her. Just because you don't have kids of your own doesn't mean that you got to let this happen to mine. Blah, 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 blah. He just goes off on her. And poor Sharon's looking at him like, this is how you going to treat me? We were just in the room smashing. I was giving it all up to you. Now I'm the one who got your daughter lost. And his mom admits it wasn't her. It was me. I let her come see it. So then Barry's tune changes, turns to his mom and saying, I told you not to do this. His dad is telling him to watch his mouth. He's going off and he just runs out the house to go look for his baby, which is the same thing I would do. Scene 11, we got Lilly gets home, and she's looking for her husband. She can't find him in the house. The chief of staff, Donald, she's looking for him, and she can't find him, but in comes Bobby. Bobby that followed her ass home, walked into her house like he belongs in that house, took his behind upstairs even though she's threatened to call the police and threatened all these things, telling him to get out, goes into her bedroom, touches the bed and asks her if she wants to go again, as if her husband's not gonna walk into the house. And she's screaming to the point to where, like, you know, yelling at him like, get out, what do you want? He tells her that he wants her baby, and she's like, who are you? He said, I'm Bobby, baby. I was like, oh my gosh, I know he's acting crazy, but the way that he's going about it is just so sexy. I'm like, oh my gosh, this man, he's crazy, but the way that he's just doing it is just like, it's like one of those crazy situations. You want to be handcuffed and you want to be spanked, but at the same time, you know it's going to be painful, but you still want it to happen. Like that situation, I'm looking at him like, She goes and she pulls a gun out of the dresser, the little cabinet thing, and she's pointing the gun at him. He's like, I thought you were going to call the police. She said, I changed my mind. You broke into my house. I could shoot you and get away with it. And he's looking at her like, well, shoot me, Dad. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm blushing. But don't shoot him, baby. But she goes and he gets up. While they're going through this little ordeal, Donald comes walking into the room and she accidentally shoots him twice out of shock. Shoots him twice, he's on the floor. And that's how the episode ends. However, we learn that there was this little scene before Donald left to go home. There was this white American dude that is supposed to work, I think, like in the Secret Service too as well. And he was trying to walk Donald to the car. Donald said, no, this other dude would take me. And he insisted that this second dude take him. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, what the hell did this man do this so bad that you won't let him walk you to your damn car? But we find out when they show the next episode that's supposed to happen in season 3, a little bit of it, that it seems like Lilly, after Bobby's shot, Donald's in the house, he accuses him of breaking into his home and saying that his wife has shot him. Somehow in the midst of that, Donald's telling Lilly that she is going to be a good mom and he loves her. And Lilly says, hint, hint, yeah, I would be a mom if we would have sex. So we find out that they don't have sex in this relationship. It is a sexless relationship. They're not enjoying each other's company in that way, which makes sense why she fell into Bobby fell into, I'm saying Booby. Bobby fell in between her legs. So we also find out that the guy that she didn't want to walk into his car, whose name we don't know, we just know that he's one of the guards for the White House, that it seems like Bobby he's on the down low. He might be gay and he just doesn't want to admit it, because they show the next scene and the guy that he said he didn't want to walk him in the car is holding his face talking about, I just want to be here for you and your wife. I said, how the hell is it going to be here for me and my wife? You about to touch my face. Do you want the wife or do you want him? Or do you want a combination of both? Or do you just want to be involved in this polyamorous type situation? But it just seems like it's going to be a hot ass mess when it comes. I can't wait for that storyline to come out more. I want to know what happened to Bobby. Did he die? Did my fine, sexy dude with his chocolate ass body just gorgeous? Please don't kick him off the show. It's too early. I still want to see more of his crazy ass. And we're going to learn more about where Callie took Ruth. And it seems like the president's mistress finally shows her face, because they show a scene where she's sitting, you know, she's half naked wearing this lingerie on the table, and he's on his hands and knees doing exactly what a good man is supposed to do, going to town and ready to, you know, exercise his skills in a buffet. But I cannot wait to see it. I'm all still watching this. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please like and subscribe and ring the notification bell so you can get reviews when I do it. I'm going to watch Marriage Boot Camp Family Edition to see what happened with Laura's family. If this show is good, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go do a review about it. So if you see it, just know it's entertaining, and I felt like there's stuff you guys need to know. All right, thank you. Good night. Bye.